Hey, it's Kelly with your A1 Extra, brought to you by Branch Group. This week, we're talking with Molly Hunter, a Roanoke Times reporter who wrote a local sidebar to a national story that Lee Enterprise reporters are publishing this weekend about childhood obesity in the United States. Molly talks about the factors that drive Roanoke's above national average level of childhood obesity.
The prevalence of obesity in children in Roanoke is much higher than it is nationally. I think nationally, the data that I was looking at was like 12%. In Roanoke, it's like 29%. So we're falling behind the national average. I do think that there is something to be noted in the fact that Virginia is also falling behind the national average also. So we're not like unique. The age range that they have data for here in Roanoke is only elementary school children. Ages 6 to 11, those elementary school kids, you're seeing a lot of impact there. One of the things also that I learned through this process is that early intervention is really important. Like ideally, if you can get to kids before they've even started elementary school or started kindergarten, and that's what you're doing in a perfect world. The researchers that I spoke to essentially said, you know, the data can be unclear, but when we look at it just as a person looking at the problems, there are these very clear patterns that emerge, which is access to grocery stores near your neighborhood, near your home, or even like community gardens. So access to affordable food is definitely one thing. Another thing that kind of regionally stratifies is the fact that there are certain neighborhoods with better sidewalk infrastructure, better, infrastructure for bicycles so that kids can bike to and from school, they can walk to and from school. That's 20, 30 minutes of exercise every single day right there. And if your kid can't do that because it's not safe to do so, maybe you live in an area with heavy traffic, then, we also see this tendency of, more overweight, more unhealthy weight in those areas of the city. The good news is that the city of Roanoke actually takes that into account when they're looking at where to target their development efforts, which, is very unique in Roanoke. Not a lot of other localities take it to that kind of granular level.
For national and state and local coverage on this issue, pick up a copy of Sunday's Roanoke Times and read the articles on Roanoke.com. We'll see you next week for another A1 Extra presented by Branch Group.